everybody. It's Laura Boone with the Real Ethereal Show. And today we're going to do my first in a series of every zodiac sign. So we are going to go through all 12 zodiac signs in the next episodes, and we're going to talk about one at a time and devote a show to each sign. And today we're going to start with the first sign, which is Aries. And I have my friend and fellow host on the Lighter Side Network, Darshana, here. She's the host of Enlighten Up, and she's also chock full of Aries. So we're going to get down to it today. And she said she's willing to be scrutinized and x-ray vision.
Yeah, I'll be totally transparent. Let's do it. It's always good for me.
She's an Aries. Let's do it. Right? That's a total Aries comment. So I think first what I want to do is just really talk about Aries in general and kind of some of the basic things about Aries. And then I'm going to get into some specifics about Darshana. And then we're going to hear from one, you guys.
Which is weird because I think of myself as a Leo, but then Laura is educating me that you're more Aries than Leo.
That's right. Which is one of the reasons why I wanted her on the show. Because most of you, if you're an Aries, you know the time frame for an Aries, or the dates, are March 21st through April 19th. So that's the sun sign of Aries. That's the part of the sky every year, which is 1/12 of the year, which is 12 equal parts of a circle, 360 degrees. That's where Aries is every year. So if you're born on one of those days, March 21st through April 19th, you are considered an Aries. But if you watched my other astrology shows, you know I always talk about the three-legged stool of a personality. So the three-legged stool of a personality is the sun sign, the ascendant, and the moon sign. So I, as an astrologer, and I think a lot of astrologers believe this, that those three parts are really, I would say, equal in terms of the influence that they have on a person's personality. Well, you are a Leo sun, and then your moon is an Aries, and you have an Aries ascendant. So I would say that she's more an Aries than she is a Leo. And that's why. So when I asked her to be on the show, she said, but I'm not an Aries. And I went, yeah, you actually are an Aries expert.
Thank you for that explanation. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes, yes. Which is why it's really great to know what your chart is, because so many people have been surprised. They get their chart done and I'm like, I know you identify as a Leo, but you're really a, whatever, Libra, because most of your chart's in Libra. So I was going to say Gemini, but I'm not going to. I can't wait till we get to Gemini, because I rile on the Geminis all the time. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about just in general what Aries qualities are. And one thing I really want to say is everybody has Aries in their chart somewhere. Everybody. And everybody has Mars in their chart somewhere. And Mars is the ruling planet for Aries. So it's good for everybody to watch the show, because it is, really what astrology is. It's a system of naming and explanation for human archetypes. Okay? And there are many systems in the world that do this. Vedic astrology does it. Tarot does it. Numerology does it. You can find it everywhere. They're all just talking about these same archetypes with different names and different combinations. And we all are a combination of all 12 signs at some point or another. It's just some of us are more weighted towards a grouping of signs or an element. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. And what's interesting too about astrology is all 12 signs, not only do they represent the four elements, which Aries is fire, and there's fire, earth, air, water. Not only do they represent the elements, but they represent the phases of development of a human being. So Aries is the first sign. So Aries is the infant sign. Okay, now that does not mean young soul versus old soul or anything like that, because actually and this is actually even more Vedic, but they talk about this in Western astrology. You know, the theory is that when you reincarnate, you go through the wheel, and then you just repeat back through the wheel and repeat back through the wheel. So just because you have a lot of Aries doesn't mean you're immature or you act like a baby. But I love the sign motivations that go along with each sign. And the Aries motivation is I am. And you know, if you study Buddhism at all, they talk about how the baby is the sign that is the most one with the Buddha, because the I am is very a baby, and you'll know this in development. A lot of times they are not able to, or they're not in a state of consciousness where they understand separation yet. So they are a part of the world around them. So, which is actually what, as Buddhist, you try to get to. And what's so interesting is it bumps right up to Pisces, which is the last sign, which people do talk, that's the elderly, the old. So, you know, the oldest sign, and it talks about wisdom, and it's the wisdom of everything is Pisces. So they are on each other's cusp. So they get blurry, you guys, which is really interesting. Okay. So, like I said before, Aries is ruled by Mars. So wherever Mars is in a person's chart, that's a lot of where their Aries energy is going to be. So I want to talk today about an Aries ascendant first, which you have. Aries qualities in general, I said it's the I am, it's the baby of the zodiac. It's very action oriented. Aries is very, well, let's talk about all the positive qualities, and then we're going to talk about all the disintegrated qualities, because every sign has both equally. And so the trick is, if you have a lot of Aries in your chart, to be really conscious of what the positive and negative aspects are, and to constantly try in mindfulness to lean into your positive aspects of
Makes
Aries,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
So positive Aries aspects, self-starter, they initiate. They are the most courageous sign by far in the zodiac. I mean, and you would think Leo would be, or Taurus would be, but it's really Aries. Aries is the person who throws themselves in front of the bus. You know, famous Aries. One of my famous fictional characters that's an Aries is Scarlett O'Hara. You know, as God is my witness, I'll never go hungry again. And I love that movie because she's such an Aries. First of all, negatively, she's very self-centered. I am, right? All about me. All about me. So Aries, when they disintegrate, it's all about them, and they don't realize what's going on out there, right?
Yeah.
But she, you know, she got knocked down. She got right back up. You know, tomorrow's another day. That's an Aries. Tomorrow's another day. As long as you're breathing, there's another opportunity to start something. And, you know, again, they're the first sign. So they're all about starting and initiating, courageous, defending, simple. Things don't have to be so complicated for an Aries, right? People get confused by an Aries. Sometimes they, especially if verbally they have a lot of Aries in their chart, they're very yes, no. They're not verbose, okay? People sometimes tend to think an Aries isn't intelligent because they give these monosyllabic answers. Now, Darshana's not like that, but
I've developed how not to be that way, actually.
with an Aries, see what tricks people up with Aries is that they're really, really intelligent. Their brains are going really fast. They go really fast. And it's efficiency. That's what they're trying. It's efficient.
Wow.
They say, yes, no, I don't want that, I want this. And they're not considering sometimes the other person. Again, it's I am, right? And that's how they want to act. They always want to be first. They always want to get there first. They get very impatient. Very, very impatient. That's an Aries quality. So let's talk about Aries ascendant, which you are, okay? Actually, full disclosure, I'm an Aries ascendant.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear from you more than me, but I will say definitely what your ascendant is how when you're threatened, you defend yourself. Okay? So I am just calm and I'm going to guarantee you she's like this. We're both metaphysical and calm, and aren't we just, we're so sweet and calm and, threaten our child or somebody we care about, and we pull the earrings off and we start punching. Okay? We'll pile on. Aries, and people get surprised.
Yeah.
Have you, if I get pushed, it's not good, right?
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
That's how it is with me too.
Right?
Yeah, there's a whole other side that comes out, and it can be shocking. My family has seen it. Back home they see it all the time, but in professional environments, not so much.
Do you get impatient?
Oh, I'm the most impatient person, especially with myself.
Yeah.
And so I've
with
developed,
anything, yourself,
absolutely.
other people.
So impatient.
Okay. I laughed. I'll never forget this moment, astrology moment, when I was just learning about my chart, and I realized I was an Aries ascendant because I'm a Capricorn and always identified with being a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Well, then when I read the Aries ascendant part, I went, oh, yeah, okay, right. And I remember standing in an elevator with lots of people, and whenever I'm in an elevator, I start moving, where the doors close right there in the middle? I start getting right, like I don't push people, but I start scooting up to the line of the elevator. And then, do you do this? Because you're an Aries ascendant. I lean forward. I start leaning forward, almost like I'm on a starting block. And then the doors open and I'm like, bam! I have bumped into so many people, like off an elevator. And it's like when I realized I was an Aries ascendant, I went, oh, that's what I'm doing. Do you get in front of line?
I used
rush,
to, yes. My nature
rush.
is to be that way. And I think through my life becoming more self-aware, I've learned to not be that way so much. But am I that way? Yeah, inherently, absolutely.
Is your nose at the elevator door?
Absolutely. I want to be first in everything.
First.
Yeah.
First.
Yep.
It's true. It's really true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to surprise you a little bit today.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I didn't tell her this before the show. So I don't know how many of you watched my Trump episode. Episode 3 and 4, I read Donald Trump's chart, and then I talked about Donald Trump's presidency. Now, he is not an Aries, okay? He is a Gemini sun with a Leo ascendant. However, if those of you remember, this right here is very interesting. Darshana has something very much in common with the Donald.
Tell me.
Now, clearly they don't look alike.
Thank God.
She has calmer hair because he has a Leo ascendant, which makes somebody's hair big or unusual, remember? So you don't have that. So she's got really awesome hair that's sort of, awesome. Great.
I appreciate that.
She has Mars on her ascendant, you guys. Yeah. So not only does she have Mars on her ascendant, but she has Mars and Aries on her ascendant. Remember what I said at the beginning of the show? Aries rules Mars. Mm. Well, you actually have Mars and Aries together in your native chart. So it's very strong. I mean, you are very strongly Aries.
Wow.
So Mars on someone's ascendant is you were born ready to fight.
Yeah.
You were born a fighter, and you can be combative. Would you ever think? Now, see, she's been working on this, right?
Yeah.
Over the years, like it's somebody's work.
Correct. If you go back to the way I was as a child, or even through high school,
out
or
of
through
the
my
womb.
master's program, oh my gosh.
Especially when you're younger.
Yeah. Oh, I was competitive, always wanting to be first. Look at me. Yeah. Obnoxious.
Did you start fights?
I didn't start fights, but I loved a good heated debate.
Yeah. You fought with words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
A lot of times until you mature, or if it's in a disintegrated way, Mars on your ascendant is people are your adversary until they're proven not to be.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the disintegrated or the immature version. So what I've seen a lot in Darshana, because she's just really worked on herself a lot, and I've only met her, perfect in later years,
that.
right? But the Mars on your ascendant in Aries is the defender, you guys. It's the defender. It's the champion. Okay? So you're going to champion causes. You're going to really want to help people. You're going to hold strength for people that are weaker. You're going to really want to help and jump in. And that's a Aries actualized, and especially with that Mars on the ascendant. So what you would need to learn, even when you're living life in a lot more harmonious way, is that sometimes, I'd love to know your feedback on this. Do you hear from your family that you're actually in a good mood, right? You're just up and you're making your coffee and you're like, no, and you're just talking to people and you're feeling good, and they're like, why are you so angry?
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, I'm not.
That strikes a chord. Especially at home with my daughter. I have a teenage daughter. Mom, why are you angry? Why are you in a bad mood? I'm like,
I'm not.
dude, I am so happy right now.
Yes.
Wow.
It's literally your filter that you're not even aware of is this Mars on your ascendant. So you could be, hearts and flowers, and it comes through that filter, and you're unaware of how it sounds to others and the impact it has on others. So your tone, even if you're not aware of it, can be really affected by this.
Wow. That's good to know.
Isn't that interesting?
That's really good to know.
So what's on the inside can feel really, it can present very, very differently.
Wow. Because it happens all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm in such a good mood. I'm being nice to you right now.
Right? Oh my gosh. So along that same line of not really understanding the filter that you're speaking through, there's another thing about Aries. Again, it's great, and it also can be challenging. It's the energy. It's big energy. So that has an impact too. There's a wonderful thing about an Aries energy where it's just so big, right? But there are times where an Aries can almost suck the energy out of a room. It's like, is anybody else? So have you gotten any feedback?
Yeah. Especially if I'm not in a good mood. People are like, whoa, you're too intense right now. And that's what I get a lot. You're intense. And it's only been probably in the last 2-3 years that I've looked at myself or met other very intense people and go, oh, I don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
How can I become more aware of that?
It's not necessarily that, you want to embrace these things, Darshana, because it's really amazing. It's wonderful energy too. And I really want to get into how it's awesome and how you can best use it in your life. But it's just being sensitive to toning it down or really understanding your impact. And so it's not about changing it or that it's bad or wrong. It's not about judging it. It's about understanding what the impact is and giving, as an Aries especially, giving people that are closest to you the space to let you know if it's impacting them or not, which it sounds like they have in your home.
They're beginning to more and more now.
They have in your home. So that's really good. But if somebody says that to you and you're an Aries or you have a bunch of Aries in your chart, listen. Right. Right. Now, some of the great things about that are, we were having a conversation the other day, and I am starting to channel, okay? And it's I haven't done it publicly yet, in a public sense yet. And I'm feeling, it's a vulnerable thing, and I don't know. I haven't totally, I guess I just did come out about it on camera.
I know. It's happening. So
I was talking to Darshana about it in our green room that we always talk in. We're having these big long conversations. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'm being really like, yeah, I'm going to And she just went, I said, what did you do? How did you do it? I just did it.
Yeah. I picked a date, I put it on there, and I said, that's when I'm going to do it.
I just did it. I just jumped right in. I just did it. Aries. That's so Aries. It's that fearless jump in the water. I don't even know what the temperature is. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it. So the other great thing is, you starting your show. Have you pulled up stakes and stopped something in your life and just jumped in and been fearless? That's your Aries energy.
It's been my entire life, actually.
Your entire life.
Yeah. Pulling out of an arranged marriage, so I got divorced. I came
against your whole culture.
Against my entire culture. And I always, in jumping in, I'm always following my heart. So it's not this sounds good, but it's no, I'm being led to do this, and I don't get in my head about it. I just follow that, and I leap, and I trust that what I need will show up. Leaving corporate America to do this kind of work, just whatever it is, always trusting and jumping in so that I couldn't think about the fear.
Mm-hmm. I love that you just said that. Aries is very heart-based. Aries is very action-oriented, based on heart and emotion. They jump right in. They're fearless. They let their heart lead them. It's any fire sign, you guys, and the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and, oh my gosh, Sagittarius. Those are the 3 fire signs. So the other, and Darshana is a triple fire sign because you're a Leo with an Aries sun and an Aries ascendant. So fire signs are also very, this is the best way to, mythological or fairy tale oriented, or there's another way to put it. They love a story. They love a dramatic story. They are dreamers in that way, and they take action around a story. So what that means is it's less fact-based when they really take action, and whether it's heart-based. And it's also, this would make a good story, even if you're not conscious of it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, and they always have a life full of good stories. And even if it's not a good story, like even if it's kind of boring to everybody else, they'll attach, oh my gosh, I met the love of my life. It's just the craziest story. They love making everything mythological or fairy tale oriented. And so the more logical signs, like the earth signs, are kind of like, oh, please, oh my God. Whew. Earth and fire kind of doesn't go, right? But the air signs are really great with fire signs. So they're the thinkers and the dreamers and the visionaries. So add the air to the fire.
Wow.
And they love the stories, and then the thinkers and the visionaries go, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh, it's never a dull moment. And that air and fire just loves each other, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, love. Do you love love?
When I allow myself to, I do. I love more like just people in general, but when it comes to the intimate, I get very closed off sometimes. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, an Aries person is going to be, they're not going to be as comfortable in all the deep emotions or the intimacy or the crying or they're action oriented.
Yes.
Efficient action, right?
That's how I run my relationships too, is all right, let's get down to business, so let's map out, what are we doing with our life today,
So have you ever been involved with a water sign?
I think I am now, right? Cancer?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
I am now.
So, yes. What's that like?
It's a delicate dance because all of a sudden
water and fire,
I have
Darshana.
I have to be very sensitive to emotions, which is one of the big life lessons that I have. Mm-hmm. It's been eye-opening, and it's helping me kind of tame the fire in order to accommodate the water even within me. Mm-hmm. So it's
like slowing it down.
Yeah.
You got to slow it down with water signs. And the other thing is to really think about what your water sign partner needs to understand is they can literally put out your flames. Too much of this, and they want to pin you down and just talk, cry, get more and more intense. That's how they want to connect. And past a point, they need to respect that that's not what you're made of either, right?
Yeah.
That you need to move around. You need the window. I love talking about fire signs. They need the windows open. They need the keys in their hand. They need the car full of gas.
Yeah.
Totally. They need to be able to move and start things. Okay, so let's talk for a minute, Darshana, about the fact that you have an Aries ascendant, which those of you that do astrology or know a little bit about astrology, when someone has an Aries ascendant, remember I said Aries is the first sign, that means that their chart is actually, in all the houses line up in their original state. In other words, they're in the right order, if you will, or the original order. So they're all so the cusp of the first house is in Aries. The cusp of the second house is in Taurus. The cusp of the third house is in Gemini, which is what all those signs rule. So what that means with an Aries, it's very fortunate to have an Aries ascendant because it makes you very solid and you have a lot of skills and talents that can really be they're just there. They're actualized in all those different areas of your life. So a person with an Aries ascendant is born with an amazing toolkit for this life. You have a lot of resources within yourself and knowledge within yourself when you have an Aries ascendant. It's a lot easier, I think, to go through life with an Aries ascendant in some ways. I want to ask you, though, because you're the expert, with all this Aries in your chart, what do you think the biggest challenges of being an Aries are, and what do you think the biggest gifts of being an Aries are?
Okay, let's start with the gifts.
Gifts.
The biggest gift, I guess, of having so much Aries in my chart is that I'm a dreamer and a doer, I guess would be the best way to put it. That I'm going to envision things and then want to manifest it and not quit till I do. So there's a lot of just perseverance, I guess would be the key word. And the downside is there may not be a lot of grace in how I do things because I am a defender, right? If something gets in my way, I'm going to find a way around it. Because
Or you're going to find a way through it.
Yes, absolutely.
Knock it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of advantages because I'll get things done.
Yeah, you will.
And at the same time, I might take out some heads around me at the same time. So I think that's the big thing is that I'm learning that through these kinds of tools to become more self-aware and just acknowledge how I am and then help others accommodate my style and call me out on it too so I can learn and grow and become more softer, more nurturing, more understanding of where they're coming from, working on my communication, becoming more emotionally aware has been a big life lesson this
And
go
also
round.
to self-advocate.
Yes.
It's not about just conforming away from who you are.
Yeah.
Right? It's also about saying, yes, I need to meet you halfway here. I know that there are times where I'm not meeting you halfway, but I also need you to know, as my child or my partner or my business partner or whatever it is, that this is who I am and how I operate too. So we need to meet in the middle as to how we accommodate each other, right?
Yes.
And just in general, you guys, it delights me to talk to Darshana about this because do you see how she's taking this astrological information or these archetypes and she's just using it to think about herself and think about her life and think about how she can be a better person and be more self-aware, which is really what, in my opinion, astrology's for. And everyone, like I said at the beginning, we'll get back to the beginning, has Aries in their chart somewhere. So find out where your Mars is, find out where Aries is, what cusp it's on of what house. That's going to be where you're going to be dealing with Aries issues. Or if you don't have any Aries in your chart, think about, are you not, do you stay stuck? Do you not pull up stakes enough? Do you not have enough fire? Are you, do you need to fight or defend yourself more? Do you see what I'm saying? It's finding those balances because Aries, everybody needs a little Aries in their life. Too much can be a little rough, but everybody, it's a beautiful thing. And I think you said it beautifully. So thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for
much.
this because it gives me more understanding and compassion for the way that I am. And I don't have to make it wrong, but I can learn to work with it. As you said, use it to your advantage and know how you come across with people and, you know, create relationships where they can guide me on how to work better with them and to collaborate more.
And if you're ever playing, if I'm ever playing rugby, or if I'm ever in a trench warfare situation, would you be in the trench with me or on my team?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because she seems real calm and sweet, but she'll pull the earrings out and take a swing.
I certainly will.
I will too. I'm an Aries ascendant.
Watch out.
Go
people.
Aries.
Watch out. Watch out.
Thanks, you guys, for being here. We really appreciate it. And we will see you soon. My next episode with astrology is going to be about Taurus. So we're going to move into the bull territory. And also, make sure you check out Enlighten Up on the Lighter Side Network. It's an amazing show, you guys. And I'm so happy to be doing this network with you.
Likewise. This is so much fun.
It's so much fun. And it's a great community. So, you know, we love each other. We love each other's comments. We love each other's show. We love your comments. So give us ideas for shows. Will you come back to mine?
I would love to, and come join me sometime. So if you guys have topic ideas of how we can collaborate, what do you want to hear from both of us at the same time?
Love it.
Bring on the topic ideas.
Because she raises my stock. And she defends me in a crisis because she's an Aries. Right?
Absolutely.
Just in case there's some altercation. I feel safe. I feel safe right now.
I got your back, Laura. Don't worry.
Okay. Thanks, Darshana. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.